is Zoe, and today we're going to talk about the compatibility between a Scorpio Sagittarius Cusp and a Sagittarius. You have to choose to be with each other every single day. It can't be because you feel like you have to be with each other or that it's your duty. It can't be because you knocked your Sagittarius up and now you feel like you have to stick around and raise a family. It can't be because of money or the law or healthcare or arranged marriages. There are a lot of reasons people stick together nowadays. It can't be because your parents want you to or because it just makes sense for you to be together. No, you have to choose each other every single day. You have to really want this. You have to want them. And you need to be your own people and choose each other as you are. Not because of who you want them to be, not because of who they were in the past. You can't change each other. You have to choose them now. You're individuals and you don't want to feel like you're responsible for each other just because you're together. You don't owe them anything. And you're always challenging yourself to break out of those stereotypes. It can feel like a cage to you. The other major challenge is that you both want to take charge. Also, it's common for this couple to get stuck for a while. Things become dull. And it's easy for you to remain in that state for longer than you thought you were capable of. Like you thought it would go away, but you just kind of stay in this kind of state of stagnation. In order for you to avoid this, you need to let yourself love them. Don't close yourself off. You don't have to fight your way out of this rut. It's not a wrestling match. Try to approach things in a more centered way. Like take a more centered and grounded approach. You both tend to get into mischief together and you might face some consequences. Denial is this couple's middle name. You both aren't the best at getting yourselves out of messy situations that you find yourselves in. Sagittarius heats you up. You can feel very short-tempered around them, and you can let your emotions fester sometimes too. But you and your Sagittarius are usually cheerful, despite all of that. You both are individuals, you're both very unique, and yet you still come to agreements fairly easily, and you work things out. Negotiation isn't difficult for this couple at all. So for those of you who watch my channel, you know that I don't tend to say that one sign is more compatible with another sign. Like it doesn't work that way. There are a lot of reasons to that. But you are usually a really great match. Like it usually happens this way. Like this is a soulmate connection. There's a lot of really powerful energy. You're both drawn to each other. It's magnetic. Communication is like your superpower in this relationship. It can help if you're both part of an organized religion or you share a faith. For example, if you meet at church or at temple or at a community potluck or in a cult. You can be judgy and critical of your Sagittarius at times. And you need to look at where that is coming from. Why do you feel so negatively about certain things? Because it's not usually about them. It's often you projecting your conditioning or your limiting beliefs onto them. You need to explore where the negative is rooted. You have to really try to get to know your Sagittarius. It's the only way you can really establish a very solid connection with them that will last in the long run. Sometimes your love might seem fake or surface level. That's why you need to get into it. You might struggle to love them unconditionally. And you both really like to point fingers at each other when you fight. But a Sagittarius is usually a really good match for you. They might be the one. You both are goal-oriented and ambitious and truthful with each other. This is that couple that can rent an RV and travel all across the country without hating each other at the end of it. In fact, you tend to coexist pretty well when you want to. There's no one else like them out there, and you know it. You both really respect each other and you value honesty. You don't tend to question what you both want from each other or what you both mean. It's pretty clear and you're not afraid to talk about it. But having similar beliefs can really bond you. So learn to welcome each other's flaws by trying to get to know them. Don't give up. When things get rough, you have to keep going. You both might feel like procrastinating a lot. You may not agree with each other's actions, and things can get pretty confrontational. Maybe sometimes too aggressive. Like I said, you make excellent travel companions. You have a blast together, and you both tend to be pretty gifted and you know how to express yourselves in a healthy way. This is the kind of couple that thrives as digital nomads. You could both move to another country and just bring your laptops and move around and be completely content. I just feel like you don't really need like this kind of physical foundation of safety. You know, you have it with each other wherever you go, which is really powerful. You don't want to be bogged down by responsibilities and expectations. Sure, there will be many times when you rub each other the wrong way, okay? It's not perfect, all right? Nobody's perfect. Nothing is perfect. Perfection is overrated. And you tend to avoid fights as much as you can because you tend to be actually very good at conversations and like actually communicating instead of needing to get super angry and blah, 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 you know, whatever that was. You're good at, like I said, negotiating. You're good at finding a middle ground and talking things through and finding an agreement. You need to focus on what you have in common with them. As friends, you both maintain your individuality and you honor each other, and it's super beautiful. You need to have their back all the time and be faithful. And for a Scorpio Sagittarius, freedom is really important to them. It's really important for them to be in a place where they're ready to be in a committed relationship because it can be difficult. It can be a struggle. So before you enter into this kind of relationship, make sure you're ready to be faithful, to be committed. You both really love to learn and they would really inspire you. Even when you marry, you tend to have separate bank accounts. Like you prefer to be very independent when it comes to money and financial things and the materialistic values. Your Sagittarius will probably be very stubborn, and when they make up their mind, it's very difficult to change it. So they might actually become more of the alpha. If you're shaking your head at this and you've been fighting all the time, keep in mind that this couple needs to level up through experiences. Because you will learn how to work this out, but you have to experience things in order for that to happen. So it's not something you can just read about or learn from like a relationship blog. Like you're gonna have to experience things in order to learn from those. That's really how this couple grows and is able to really navigate their ups and downs because they've been through things before. And so they learn to negotiate as time goes on because like I said, that can become your superpower. Sometimes things have to get worse before they get better for this couple. You both love to escape and have fun, but don't lose sight of your life because it can be easy to party too hard or overindulge and kind of lose sight of what matters. Your friendships are pretty satisfying. Sometimes you might feel like the love that you have is just not as intense as you want it to be, and you may just have to be okay with that. You make lots of fun plans with them and you try new things. If you could, I mean, you would just have fun with them all the time and relax with them. When you first meet your Sagittarius, you will want to give and you're gonna want to make them happy, and that's really normal. But a Sagittarius isn't as easy to please, and this might frustrate you over time and make you want to act out. Just remember that you are not your relationship. Now, casual hookups aren't usually great for this pairing if you're looking to grow into something more serious. Neither one of you really focuses on procreating. It never seems to be the most important thing, even as you get really serious, and it's often put on the back burner. Sagittarius often lacks empathy for you, and they don't have the gentleness that you seek in a spouse. So while you tend to be soulmates and you're very compatible, it can be really hard to make it official. You both don't like to be bogged down with a lot of responsibility, so you don't usually spend a lot of time trying to go deeper and dealing with all the heavy stuff, especially if you've avoided it for so long. There's a lack of compassion. You have a tendency to need to shake things up. You're the cusp of revolution, right? So you need to create a revolution. You don't want things to stay the same. And that means that sometimes you might sabotage your love life a little bit in order to keep things interesting. You will definitely try to mess with all of it. You both enjoy dinner parties and relaxing with your loved ones. Sagittarius has this bad habit of withholding their love. One-night stands are just one-night stands with them. Neither one of you likes to conform to society, and you don't really care about getting married much of the time. It's actually more likely that you're going to stay together for a really long time, especially in this day and age, without getting married. It doesn't mean that you're not meant for each other or that it's bad, but often this is kind of a modern couple in the way that they don't want to do everything just because everyone else is doing that. And so they might be the only one of their friends group of couples, right, that isn't married for a really long time or never gets married. It's just something that you usually both go along with. Obviously, it depends on circumstances. Like I said, if you meet at church, then, you know, religious stuff happens and you might find yourselves wanting to get married. But at its core, this is a very original and unique couple that really prefers its individuality and doesn't mind standing out and doesn't mind following its own rules. Like, you're both so independent and you don't need some document stating that you're bound to each other officially. You don't even need to share a last name. You might do everything right and give your whole heart to them, but it may feel like it's not enough at times. Your Sagittarius loves to take action. They don't want to talk about doing something, they want to do it. And that is awesome for you. They don't mind initiating things with you. You both tend to be foodies. You might like to cook or try new restaurants or new dishes. In fact, it may even be a passion of yours. And you both share a similar mindset and way of thinking. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are a Sagittarius or you were born on the cusp of Scorpio and Sagittarius, please comment below. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with this? What has been your experience with this sign? I would love to hear your story. Everything is welcome. Please don't feel like you have to hold back. I love hearing your stories, and yeah, definitely. And I feel like it's really helpful for other people who are also on this cusp and who are also wondering what it's like to hear from your perspectives, you know? So please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content, and yeah, I love you. Bye.